this job isn't forgiving. It's 24/7. It's a lifestyle. Hey guys, Steve Bewley here from Mandylights. Come to you on this rainy day in Newcastle, United Kingdom. I just wanted to have a quick conversation about something that came up in a lecture we did for a university last week, and just a little thing that struck a chord. And I just wanted to bring this to you. And anyone who's starting out and anyone who's actually actively out in the field right now, it was just basically to discuss the point about making a decision about what you want to be in this world of lighting design. Do you want to be the designer? Do you want to be an operator? Do you want to be do you want to work in music? Do you want to work in corporate? There's so many decisions to make. Or do you want to do everything? But you need to start somewhere, and you need to sort of write the roadmap of where you want to go, so that just to tell you where I started out. So I started out as a technician, and for a corporate events company, but then went through that company, did a bit of project management kind of thing, learned the ropes on all kinds of different manner of events and things like that, and then left that company, went into being kind of freelance, but always knew I wanted to get into music, lighting design. So that was my first decision. I wanted to get into music. And then the next decision was, because I was still a technician, but I was working in music, and quite frankly I was never the best technician, to be honest, but I quickly realized that I wanted to be the lighting designer and not the actual not a technician, because that's just not where my strong points are, and that's not where my passion was at the time. And so from that I knew I wanted to be an LD, but I didn't know what type. There's many types of LD. You can be somebody who
we had the Merry Christmas map
tours. You can be someone who doesn't tour, like designers who basically just design, and then they hand over to programmers. And it depends on what you want your business to be, and the decision comes down to you. Ultimately, you need to form this roadmap of where you want to go with it, and things are going to change along the way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I started out, I wanted to be a touring LD, on the road, operating, pressing buttons every night for the band, making the show work. So that's what I loved. But as time gets on, your life changes, and you kind of it became a time when I didn't want to tour anymore, and I don't want to be on the road for months. So our business and my business now is kind of, we're there until the show gets on the road, and the client is absolutely happy, and we're there to support the show from our office and wherever else throughout the course of the tour or the event or whatever. But I don't generally tour anymore. I still get on and program now and then, but because we're so busy, it's becoming even more difficult to jump on the board and program things now. So it's kind of forcing our hand in a way that things like this, that our plan of action is changing constantly. Don't get me wrong, I love getting on the board and programming some stuff, but because we're juggling the company and all of that kind of thing, it just sometimes doesn't allow. But we have some fantastic people that we work with who can jump on and program and translate what we want to see into some fantastic programming. And to be honest, these guys are better programmers than I ever was anyway. So it's maybe best to lean on people if the job allows it. If there's budget there to use a programmer, then why not? Because then that allows you to stand back and be a creative from afar and actually assess everything much more, because you see in the broader overview. But you need, just jumping back to the initial point, is you need to make your decisions on what kind of LD you want to be. Like I said, there's guys at the top of the game, like Leroy Bennett's and Patrick Woodruff's and whatnot, and those guys I'm sure haven't jumped on a board for a long time, but then equally some people have, and and fundamentally, like, I love jumping on the board, but again, it just, time's a factor these days, and sometimes it just doesn't allow us to do it. So yeah, you need to make your decisions. You need to form a roadmap of what you want to be, and it can evolve over time as well, but you just need to have a firm plan in your head. And it all comes back to the whole thing of, like, this is a business as well, so your role is going to change as your business grows, as you grow in popularity, as your reputation grows, and you start getting more clients. Again, you might not be able to be on the road with it, because it's very hard to be on tour and juggle multiple bands. It's very hard to be on tour and have more than one band. So generally what you'll find is a lot of guys who are dealing with multiple jobs don't necessarily tour, but they'll be out there until the jobs and the tour is actually rolling, and it's the client's absolutely happy, and then they'll jump off, and then the operator or the lighting director takes that and does the day-to-day housekeeping and any kind of updates and things like that. But what's important is that the actual designer is kept in the loop constantly, and any changes and updates and things like that from the artist are documented, so that the LD's actually got a full picture. So one thing we do is we do show reports, which we find absolutely invaluable, because if something goes wrong on a show, in our internal systems, we can pick up the show report from the night before, have a quick scan. If everything's gone all right, fine. If it hasn't, it's detailed in the show report, and then if we can pick up the phone and actually preempt a strike from the production manager or whoever else is going to call you and tell you that something wasn't right. And it's always proactive. We like to be proactive in rectifying situations. If there's a bit of programming that needs sorting, say for example, if the tour's out in America, we could pick that show report up and rectify something before the LD operators are even woken up, because we have offices in Australia and in the UK, so we can actually, and we've built these fantastic previs facilities, so we could previs and rectify any issues, have the show file back before before anyone's even woken up, and then preempt the strike. So that for us is invaluable. So yeah, just plan your career rather. Put a roadmap down. There's various tools online, like MindMeister is a one which I use for spidergraphing things. Spidergrams are amazing. There's different types, so jump on there, and actually there's timeline versions where you can throw a timeline on there and actually roadmap it out, how you see your career going, and put some times on it. And then it actually works in two ways if you do that, because you set yourself goals, which is massively important in especially in the world of business, and for progressing your career, because it's very easy to just sit and stagnate and just coast along, and just be happy, or just coast along really in what you're doing, rather than aspiring to get to the next phase and build a business. And because at the end of the day, it's not a business if you're working in it 24/7. So it's not a business at all. It's a business when you can actually step away and the thing still runs. That's what a business is. Otherwise you've just got a job. You've just got a job where you work for yourself. So, and you're constantly under the cosh there really. And this job isn't forgiving. It's 24/7. It's a lifestyle. You'll hear people say that it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. And it really is, when you're out there on the road and all that kind of thing. And you really have to change your way of thinking if you want to grow and build into making a business out of this, and dealing with multiple bands and making a really good living out of it. So yeah, use the mind maps definitely. Mind map things out, make some goals, set your next goals. What are your goals going to be for the next day, week, month, year? You know, like set all of these goals, 5-year plan. So yeah, that's really it really for this video, and just a little thought I had this morning that came out of a question from the lecture last week. So I hope this gave a little bit of value this morning, and I'm now at the office, so take care guys, see you soon.